Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this lovely Monday morning. I am Maria, and today I am with my co-host,
Andrea. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here.
and of course, we are joined by our DJ, Laura,
Hello.
and the technician, Jose.
Hello.
So, 2022 was a rubbish year, right?
Yeah, it was a tough year. Many things happened.
And luckily for us, the internet saves it all the memories, the photos, and the videos. And so we have invited a group today that will tell us about the most researched things in 2022.
Hello.
I introduce.
So, today we're gonna take a look at the most searched things of 2022 and some interesting facts about our daily search browsers. And taking a look at this really tells us a lot about how last year went. So, first of all, we're gonna talk about most searched on Google. The number one search was Wordle, which is a game that became very popular this year. Then we have on the second India versus England, which is not something as popular here because it's about a cricket World Cup. Then on the third we have Ukraine. On the fourth, Queen Elizabeth when she died. And then we have the World Cup, iPhone 14, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Indian Premier League. Then on most searched people this year was Johnny Depp on the first one. Having Amber Heard the third, this was all about the famous trial we had. On the second, we have Will Smith, probably because of his appearance in the Oscars and when he slapped the first person on this list, which is Chris Rock, the comedian, which I think is basically here because he got slapped by Will Smith. Then on the fourth, there's Vladimir Putin. On the sixth, Novak Djokovic. And then we have some people that like Andrew Tate or an Indian guy named Rishi Sunak, which I don't really know who that guy is. Then we go to most searched movies.
That's sorry. That's the UK's prime. That's the British Prime Minister you're talking about.
No way. Who?
Yes.
Who?
Rishi. What's his name? Rishi.
Ah, that's right.
Yes.
The guy that. But he's Indian, right? He's Indian.
No, he's
He is of Indian origin, but he's English.
Ah,
Have you
okay.
heard him speak? He has such a Londoner accent.
Okay, I didn't know that. Then, most searched movies was Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Adam, Top Gun: Maverick, The Batman, and Encanto. Then we're gonna talk about most visited global websites of 2022 by month. The numbers I'm gonna say is in billions. First of all, we got Google with 88 billion, then YouTube with 74 billion, then Facebook with 10, Pornhub with 10, Xvideos with 8.7, then followed by Twitter with another 8 billion, Wikipedia with 6 billions, Reddit with 4 billions, and Instagram with 4 billions. Something I realized that is very interesting is how porn websites accumulate many billions. Like if we put them all together, it would be like half the YouTube billions. And now we're gonna talk about.
It really tells you a lot about the internet, huh?
Yes.
One of the most interesting things related to this is that, well, you know Bing, the Bing search engine. We all use Google, but Bing is the one presented by Microsoft. Weirdly enough, we get more porn results related to Bing than in Google. Do you know why this? Do you
No
have an
idea.
Well, basically back in 2012, Google started tweaking its search settings, and that led to a lot of people not finding what they wanted to find. So apparently, a lot of them migrated to Bing.
Isn't that inconvenient for Google?
Well, I mean, they don't really care that much about those specific searches. Still, if you take a look at the statistics, the most searched the most first things are also how to get help in Windows Explorer and how to get help in Windows. So if you know if you have used Windows frequently, you will notice that if you accidentally press F1, you will have F open with those like with those buttons. And yeah, if you have used it normally, you will realize how annoying it is. And one last thing, which is one last thing related to Google, is that we found that the third most common keyword in Google is. Do you have any guess of what it is?
No idea.
Google. We started to be really weird. Apparently, a lot of people are not very tech literate, and they search Google while not realizing they are already in Google. So yeah, that was all we introduced today.
Thank you, guys. That was really interesting. Moving on, Maria, have you ever thought about going to the gym?
Yes, I have actually.
And I'm sure that if you have any questions, we will be solved with our next section. This is about the gym. Hello, guys.
So, we are here with Carlos Barrado, who is the physical trainer of the actual Mr. Olympia, the open category. And we're going to ask him some questions related with the team. Hey guys, okay, my first question is, how long should my workout? This happens to me with a lot of time. The time, it really doesn't matter because you can be resting on the phone, just go and train. Lift your weights and go home. It doesn't matter if it's an hour and a half or just 45 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, just work out and go home. Okay. So what should we do to hypertrophy the muscles? It's very simple. If to hypertrophy, just best way to achieve more rest. Because it's not about like powerlifting that you little rest with an amount of weight and then you just rest like 3 minutes. Rest little time and do a lot of it. So it should be around 10, 12 reps? Not 15. Hey Carlos, so my question is very personal because I have always wanted a six pack and I think this is the summer I can get one, so how can I do it? Well, the six pack. When I'm in home, I just like go and I write an email and I put like when I finish this homework I'm going to do 20 sit-ups and I do that. And then 10 push-ups. And in your home I try to do like 100 push-ups in all the day. So just take little movements at home to try and work out. Yeah. You think I can get those apps for fun? Yes, for sure. No. Another question related to the to what Oscar asked. How do I need to warm up and specific time with the exercise? Or it's not a matter of time really, but it's very important to warm up before the workout and when you are going to train a muscle, workout that time to avoid it. But yes, it's not an issue when it's done. So with which frequency should we go to the gym? 2 days a week. That's the best. That's the best. If you want to achieve your goal, go 2 days a week. Like, okay. And how can I keep motivated to go to the gym? Because some days I just want to stay in the bed, in the sofa. Listen, I hear a quote one day that it says, the guy who works here, regardless of how he feels, will always be the guy who only goes to the gym when he feels motivated. So it's not motivation, it's discipline. Motivation lasts
Are you tired of watching Netflix alone? Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth? Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Greste in your life? Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home? Then download Salupa, a dating app for LVII students.
With this app, you will find your own Noah Flynn.
Salupa, the best choice for your lonely life. Are you tired of watching Netflix alone?
Did you cry watching The Kissing Booth?
Do you want a Marco Diaz or Adriana Greste in your life?
Do you spend more time in the friend zone than in your own home?
Then
Are you tired of studying and forgetting everything the day after the exam and you are too lazy to make your own cheat notes?
We present you the Tuletator, a web page that we put at your disposal where you can create your own cheat notes and where you can also find other people's cheat notes.
You just have to copy the text you want to include in your cheat note and select the size of the cheat note. You can select Typex model, water bottle model, or just a small piece of paper. Tuletator, don't study anymore.
Are you tired of trance music? Do you want to escape of reality for a few minutes? Just listen to Nothing Good's band new single, Nerd, which will be released the next month in Spotify and YouTube. Its components are former students of this school who created the group in 2018. The last year they released 2 singles, Wilco and Late Night Club, and also gave several concerts. Don't forget to listen to this single when it's released, because Nothing Good is the band of the moment.
Have you ever dreamed of being able to know what someone is thinking? Imagine knowing everything that people think of you without them really knowing that you read their thoughts. Here at LVII, we bring you an app called Did You Know That? Download it now.
Hey, did you hear Valley FM's back?
That's groovy.
Hello and welcome back to our radio. Thank you for staying with us.
And we're moving into our next section. Maria, do you think it's important to be updated these days?
Yes, I always like to check the news, especially these days, because they are loaded with important events.
Well, you're lucky, because our next section is about news, or what happened last week. Hello, guys.
Hi everyone, we are back another week, bringing you the latest news of the last days.
Okay, I will start with some of the international news of the last few weeks. In the US, on January 7, five Shelby County officers kicked and punched Tyre Nichols, a 29-year-old African American. After a traffic stop, he was beaten, resulting in his death in hospital 3 days later. District Attorney Stephen Murley has said he will review all previous closed and pending cases of accused officers who face charges of second-degree murder and assault. Several of the officers who have been fired had received written reprimands or brief suspensions for violating department policies according to their personal files. And in relation with this latest case of police racism that I have mentioned before, Biden calls for a police reform. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, has made this Tuesday an appeal to the United States Congress to ban assault rifles and carry out a reform of the police. All this referring to the latest shootings that have occurred in the country and the police abuses against the black population.
And to close with international news, last night in the United States has been stirring not only by the alleged unidentified flying object that was shot down by an army fighter, but by the 57th edition of the Super Bowl, undoubtedly one of the most anticipated events of the year. It was an exciting game in which, even though the Eagles seemed to have won the game, Patrick Mahomes, which is considered the hero of the game, led a spectacular comeback of the Chiefs by winning the Eagles 38-35, despite their physical conditions, being this his second Super Bowl in the last 4 years. But Mahomes wasn't the only star to step foot in the stadium. After 7 years of absence, Rihanna returned to the stage. The artist was chosen to give the show during the halftime of the match. As soon as the show began, all her fans were shocked as the artist appeared at the State Farm Arizona Stadium pregnant. And even this is obvious because the belly of the singer was seen at first sight. To confirm this theory, many viewers claim that during one of her songs, in which she pronounced the word live, the singer touched her belly. I think we all have been surprised by the apparition of Rihanna because nobody expected that her to be pregnant again in such a short time, and much less after announcing that she was returning to the music. And talking about her performance, the truth is that she has disappointed people a bit because we all expected more for her after 7 years without singing, and also she has left many important songs without singing. But apart from that, we all are very happy of that Rihanna returned to the music.
Now some national news. Saturday night took place the presentation of the Goya Awards for Spanish cinema and the Royal Drama. Asbestas was the big winner of the night, which on Saturday night also honored its lead actor, Frenchman Denis Menochet, and paid tribute to director Carlos Saura, who died the day before at 91. Rodrigo Sorogoyen's film won a total of 9 awards, including Best Spanish Film, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay. The film's lead actor, Denis Menochet, won the award for Best Actor. This is the most important award obtained to date by the French actor, who has worked with filmmaker Quentin Tarantino in Glorious Bastards and Ridley Scott in Robin Hood. The 37th edition of the Goya was also an opportunity for the film world to pay a tribute to the Spanish director Carlos Saura, who died Friday at his home in Madrid area, and was awarded an honorary Goya. The Goya also paid tribute to the French actress Juliette Binoche, who received an international award for her extraordinary trajectory in cinema. The big disappointment of the night was for Alcaraz, the winner of the Golden Bear in Berlin, and the film that the Academy proposed to represent Spain in the Oscars, but that did not win any of its 11 nominations.
So, also, there has been a debate over bullfighting place in Spanish culture and society after the country's Supreme Court ruled that the socialist-led government had been wrong to exclude bullfights from a list of events available to young people through the free culture voucher scheme. Introduced last year, the youth culture voucher entitles Spaniards turning 18 to a 400 allowance, half of which can be spent on attending cultural events such as festivals, concerts, plays, exhibitions, and films. The government decision to omit bullfighting from the list of live cultural events, however, under the Fundación del Toro de Lidia, an organization dedicated to defending and promoting the activity. Isabel Díaz Ayuso, the right-wing populist president of the of the Madrid region, also celebrated the ruling, saying bullfighting was part of Spain's culture and shouldn't suffer discrimination because of ideological bias. However, the opponents of bullfighting saw the ruling as another backward step. Sergio Torres, Director General of Animal Rights at Spain's Social Rights Ministry, said that the court's decision showed the need to overturn the legislation protecting bullfighting.
Protest continues in Madrid against the populist government. Yesterday, with the slogan "Madrid stands up and demands public health and solutions to the primary care plan," thousands of people took part in a demonstration which ended in the Plaza de Cibeles. The demonstration, called this Sunday by the Federation of Associations in Defense of Public Health, which includes 74 social groups, aims to defend public health and protest against the dismantling of primary health care that, in its opinion, the government of Isabel Díaz Ayuso is carrying out in the region. According to the government delegation, more than 250,000 people attended the demonstration. People were singing slogans such as "Ayuso cobarde, el pueblo está que arde," or "Ayuso y su gobierno que se vayan al infierno."
Okay, in Galicia there was also a demonstration denouncing cuts in health budgets and the trend towards privatization of services. Several tens of thousands of people collapsed in Santiago de Compostela this Sunday during the protest against the health policy of the Xunta de Galicia and in defense of public health and primary care.
Thank you, guys. Next, we're gonna have a game. Is it true that you like physics?
Yes, it is.
Really?
No, I lied.
That was good. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Okay, so we are going to play a game. You have to say two things that are false and one that is true. And we invite all the listeners as well as all the people here to try to play this game and guess the sentence that's correct.
Okay, so I will start. My mother works for the king. A lady tried to kidnap me when I was little, and I fell off a camel when I was little.
Okay, so for the king, what does she work for?
She's the personal chef of him, and she plans all the menus.
And have you ever seen the king?
No, like she's my mother works for the king, but I
yes.
haven't seen him.
Well, I don't know if that's really true. I mean, I would like it, but I think that's a bit unrealistic. About the second sentence, could you put a little bit of context?
Yes, well, I think I had like 5 years old, and it was in Malaga, and my parents were talking, and I went to touch a dog, and suddenly like a lady tried to kidnap me. And
were you scared at the moment?
Like at that moment, I didn't know that the situation, but yes, like when a lady tried to kidnap me, I was like a little bit scared.
And did you call the police or something?
My parents did.
Yes. And what happened at the end?
Like my parents took me. They called to the police, and the police took the woman, and I didn't know what happened next.
Okay. And with the camel, where were you? Like, were you in a trip or?
Yes, I was in Lanzarote, and I was doing a trip in camel, and the camel fell off, and I also fell.
How old were you?
I think I was 7 years old.
Okay, so
More or less.
I think that's the truth.
I agree with you.
Yes.
No, my mother works for the king.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay, so the next that's going to play is Andrea.
Okay, so the first one is that I have family related to Belén Esteban. When I was 5 years old, I climbed a tree, and when I couldn't get down, they had to call the five bridges. And when I was little, I went to the zoo and with my parents, and a monkey fell in love with my father.
Well, I think that Belén Esteban is such an icon, so I would like to know how close is her to your family.
Is the second cousin of my mom.
And when do you see her?
I see her like one time a year, per year.
When exactly?
On Christmas.
On Christmas.
Yes.
And how is she? Like.
Is she as in the TV?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know if that's really true because, well, but I would like to say for that. But about the zoo with the monkey anecdote, do you have any pictures or anything that?
Yes. In my house, I have a picture of my father with the monkey. There was like a glass. And the monkey followed my father, and I remember that sometimes he would throw kisses at me.
What did he do? Like, how reactive he was?
He laughed and he laughed.
Well, I mean, that will also be very funny. Yes, but I am going with Belén.
When I was 5, I fell the escalator and almost cracked my head open. 2 years ago, I saw a ghost, and in France, my family has a vineyard, and our winery helps the North Company.
I'm very interested in the ghost. So, can you?
Well, 2 years ago, I was at my grandma's house, and I was alone. It was like 10 p.m., I think, and I started to hear strange sounds like windows, and at some point something fell. It was in a wardrobe, so it fell, and I it, and I saw something like.
But you told you were alone, and now you had your grandma too.
No, I called her in the phone.
Ah, you called her.
Yes, to come.
And how was the house like?
Was it like in the typical terror movies or?
Yes.
In the middle of the forest.
Yes.
And you were alone.
I was alone.
So, and you decided to call your grandma instead of the police.
I didn't know what to do.
You were scared, okay.
I was scared.
And have you ever met the ghost again?
No, luckily no.
Okay. I don't know if I can believe it, but okay.
And well, one more question about the ghost. I mean, why were you alone if that house was like so scary and you were going to be alone?
Because I was my grandma has to do shopping, and I was keeping the dog.
And what's the location of the house? Can you?
France.
France, okay.
Okay. And about the first story when you cracked your head open.
I was with my parents at a mall, and I suddenly fail. Like, I was stupid enough to fall off the escalator.
How old were you?
5, 7.
And you said you almost, but you didn't crack your head, right?
I almost.
So
I
you
have
don't.
a.
You have.
Yes, a scar.
Okay.
Okay, well, I think that one's true, but because it seems like the most realistic to me.
No, I have a vineyard in France.
Wow. And what do you think that this was true, like before she said it?
I think the true one is that she almost cracked her head.
Yeah.
She was agreeing.
So.
Well, that was a really interesting game to play. Unfortunately, we've run out of